everybody, welcome to the show, The Garage. I'm Jeremy Cordo, Peter Clayton's here, the Court of Public Opinion. We should get on with this, Pete, while the fly's not here.
Yes.
It's a regular guest on the show. Wants a piece of the action. I don't know. Anyway, I won't tempt fate. No fly. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at the dining room table, 9 o'clock, live streaming. Please call us. We'll have some fun together. St Vincent de Paul. I love St Vincent de Paul. I go along to their op shops a lot. They've got marvellous things. I don't know why people throw things away. I suppose people pass on, and clothes sometimes never worn turn up in the op shops. And not only St Vincent de Paul, but Salvation Army and a lot of others as well. They're a wonderful source of recycling things. Let nothing go to waste. This entire room here is dedicated to letting nothing go to waste. Pete's crying. I don't know. Now, I tell you truly, everything in this room has been thrown away by somebody at least 3 times, and that includes me. It's true. Anyway, back to St Vincent de Paul. They've released their latest survey of electricity costs. Across the board, electricity prices are up 22%, they say. That's on average. 22%. Victoria, 26%. New South Wales, 24%. Queensland, 22%, South Australia, 24%. Now, this is do not be fooled, this is a direct result of the federal government's energy policy. In other words, the closing of coal-fired power stations and the ignoring of our enormous advantage in having cheap, available, high-quality coal available to fuel our energy needs in Australia. So it is the closing of coal-fired power stations and the government's willful pursuit of renewables. I don't know what you think, Pete.
Well, I just want to remind people about Albanese's promise to reduce energy costs.
Oh, well, he'll just skate over that.
The media lets it go.
Skate over that. Yeah, the media will. I think they're still having a honeymoon in Canberra. So, as you get, and as we get, our power bills, remember, please, it is totally political, man-made in Canberra, and avoidable. While at the same time, they facilitate the mining and export of coal so that other countries can enjoy our cheap electricity. They're allowed to do it. We're not allowed to do it. How did these people get elected? If they really believe this anti-coal rubbish, they would ban the mining of coal in the first place, wouldn't they? They'd go to the source, the cause. Or, silly me, is it the money? Could it be the money? But whatever the reason, it's illogical and stupid. And it's enough, really, to have a government kicked out of office if there was a means to do it before the next election. What is wrong, however, with the media? What is wrong with the media? From interviews, you sometimes, somebody being interviewed, you sometimes get a no comment. No comment. But here, it's the no comment from the media. Isn't that astonishing? I think they're basically a cheer squad for this Albanese guy. I don't know. Before I get too hot under the collar, according to the Red Cross, I saw yesterday that only 10% of us has a bushfire plan. A plan of action should there be a bushfire at the back gate or side fence or whatever. I don't know what to make of that. It could be that we're just optimists. You know, it won't happen to me. My house will be the one that the fire simply shoots past. I live in a forest and I'm totally aware of the problem. And Pete, you've lived in the country.
Yes.
You know what it's like.
Well, I had 10 acres burnt. It's terrifying.
It's a terrible thing. 10% of us have actually sat down to think what we would do. How would we react? How fast would we react? What would we take with us? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But then again, this country has been like this forever. As Dorothea McKellar said, the land of sweeping plains and floods and fires and hardship, really. It's a tough country. But that's all right, we're tough. Australians are tough. Dating apps are being told to get their act together. I don't know. If they don't get their act together, they're told they will be regulated. Now, I wonder why they're not regulated already. Apparently, people are regularly molested, assaulted and raped as customers of dating apps. You couldn't possibly take that on as being, you know, part of the risk of using a dating app, could you? I would imagine that a regulator would be like a cop on the beat. But how would you regulate that? How would the cop on the beat make sure that a dating app was safe for the users? I don't think you could ever make online dating safe. It would have to be risky. Why would you do it? Let's talk tomorrow about that. If ever you have been on a dating app, you may have met Mr. Right, Mr. Perfect, Miss Right, Miss Perfect, and it worked out fantastically. Right? Pete, have you ever used a dating app?
No, I'm too short and too old.
Too short and too old, he says. He's a catch. Come on.
No.
Oh, ridiculous. It would be really like dicing with death, I would think. How would you know on a dating app that people were telling you the truth?
They don't.
Well, you don't. No, you don't. Anyway, tomorrow, 9 to 12, jeremycordo.com. If you've had a good experience or a bad experience with a dating app, the telephone number is 0491 65 68 60. Your experience with online dating. Now, getting to the voice, because I haven't talked much about that in the last couple of days. I've no doubt we'll talk about it tomorrow. What I would say to yes voters is simply this. Just read the full 26 pages of the Uluru Statement from the heart. I'm not asking you to read the full 112 pages, just the 26 pages. I dare you to do that. And if you can still vote yes, I don't know what I could possibly say to you. don't know what I could say to you. Aboriginal people generally, it seems, want, if you boil it all down, they want a treaty. Like most of us, the Aboriginal people have never seen the Constitution, the physical document. They've never seen it. Why would they want to? Means nothing, doesn't improve life or put food on the table, anything. It's the treaty, that's what they want. Could I, or someone, some journalist, just ask why? Why? And you will get the truth. You'll get all the stuff that's in the 26 pages. You'll get the reparations, the pay the rent, the separate government, the separate chamber in Parliament, the designated seats in Parliament, all the things that the yes people think that they will get if the yes vote gets up. But it's not the vote, no. It's not the voice, no. It's the treaty. You see, the yes vote, in their mind, I've come to the conclusion, is synonymous with treaty, which is shorthand for all those goodies detailed in the 26 pages. Now, that the Prime Minister, of course, hasn't read. Wouldn't you think, just out of curiosity, he'd go and read them? Well, maybe he knows exactly what's in there. And remember this, what the Constitution really is. Because that's why the activists, and I'm not talking about the average Aboriginal man, woman or child, I'm talking about the activists, the white activists, the elites, the celebrities, the academics, the intellectuals. This is why they want to get their hands on it. It is the document. The Constitution is the document that sets out how Australia will be governed. And I think the taxpayer of this country will be in open revolt if the yes vote gets up, with all its implications. And I don't want to see that. And I don't believe the Aboriginal people want to see that either. I really don't. I'll leave you with some dates. Happy birthday or happy wedding anniversary if it's a day of celebration. Earl Dixon. I don't think I've ever heard of Earl Dixon. American inventor. 1961. Do you know what he invented, Pete?
No, I don't know him.
No, I don't either. Band-Aids.
Yeah, in 1961.
1961. Somebody had to do it. I remember as a kid when I used to go and climb trees and fall out of them regularly. When my mother wasn't dressing me up as a girl. I don't know exactly why she did that. It didn't work. Anyway, I would go and climb the willow tree in the backyard and fall out. And they had a thing that you could get from the chemist, which was called plastic skin. So you didn't put a Band-Aid on. Oh, this would have been in the, I don't know, 50s. It was plastic skin. You put it on, stung like hell, I remember that, but it covered the wound and helped it to heal. Whatever happened to plastic skin? You might ring me tomorrow and tell me if you remember it. Plastic skin. Anyway, Earl Dixon, Band-Aids, terrific. Then along came something called elastoplast. which is another sort of thing like that. 1915, Cecil Chubb buys English prehistoric monument Stonehenge. He bought Stonehenge and he paid £5,600 for it. Cecil Chubb, 1915. I wouldn't have thought it could have been for sale. 1832, Walter Scott, English novelist, historical novelist and poet, The Lady of the Lake. Ivanhoe, I remember Ivanhoe, dies at 61 in the year 1832. Leonard Cohen, I loved it, Leonard Cohen. Canadian writer and songwriter and poet and singer. I mean, he did Hallelujah, but I don't think that was his most brilliant song, but many people do. But Suzanne was a wonderful song. What else? Do you remember?
I used to like That's No Way to Say Goodbye.
That's No Way to Say Goodbye. And what about the Blue Raincoat one? What was that? The famous Blue Raincoat.
Oh, she came so far for beauty.
Yeah, Jennifer Warnes sang, made a hit of it, but it was Leonard Cohen's song.
She did a whole album of
the famous Blue Raincoat. He was born in Montreal. He died in 2016, and he was born in 1934 on this day. I remember fondly having him on the show when he came to Adelaide to do a concert, and I had an old album that I had had since the 1960s of Leonard Cohen, and I was a fan, a groupie, and I took the album in, and I prevailed upon him to sign the cover of my Leonard Cohen aged album. There's nothing wrong with being a fan, nothing wrong with being a groupie. Leonard Cohen, wonderful man. Larry Hagman, American actor, I Dream of Jeannie. J.R., Dallas, born Fort Worth, Texas, died he was born in 1931. Is Larry Hagman dead?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I got him down here as having kicked the bucket. No, I don't think so. I'll check that. What else? The first cowboy film. Ah, that's interesting. Kit Carson. It was called Kit Carson. I think he was a historical character, wasn't he, Pete?
I'm not sure about that.
Well...
possibly, in the Indian Wars.
Indian Wars and around there, and he wore buckskin.
Yeah.
And had a lovely horse. Anyway, premieres in America on this day in 1903. The film was very young back in 1903. Jacqueline Suzanne, American author, Valley of the Dolls, dies of cancer at 56 in 1974. Stephen King, American sci-fi and horror author, The Shining, etc., born Portland, Maine, 47. Jackson Pollock's painting, Blue Poles, and when Whitlam paid $2 million for it, we were outraged. But it's a pretty good investment, I'm told. It's worth hundreds of millions of dollars today. But that was back in 1973 that he bought it. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan pledged $3 billion to medical research to cure and prevent or manage all disease in the world by the end of the century. Wow. Well, if we can make it to the end of the century, we should be fairly safe.
Might be a bit tough.
Yeah, it might be. H.G. Wells, English sci-fi author, War of the Worlds, born in Kent, died in 46, born 1886. Ah, dear, maybe I'll pick one more. Singapore admitted to the United Nations in 1965. That might have been the only mistake that Lee Kuan Yew ever made in his political or nationalistic life. Thank you very much for being with us. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Peter Clayton and I will see you next week here with the posting on Facebook and the podcast. And tomorrow we'll be live streaming from the dining room table, jeremycordo.com. I hope you can join us. Well, have a bit of fun. Let our hair down for the end of the week. Thank God it's Friday, we will say, at the top of our voices, and you can join us. Believe in yourself, and goodbye for now.